Hi, this is Life with a Family and I'm Bethany. Today we're going to be making Pai Fala, which is pineapple pie. It's also known as half moon pie. So it's kind of like a shortbready type pie with pineapple filling in it. Now there's a few different types of ways of making Pai Fala. We have looked for a recipe that suits the way that our family likes Pai Fala. So it might not be the way that you are used to it, or you might not have ever tried Pai Fala before, and it might be something that you like to try making. I was brought up in a family of 8 children, and so growing up I did a lot of baking. Since marrying my husband, who is from Samoa, I have also liked to look for Samoan things that I can bake so that there can be things that we can make and eat that he enjoys from his childhood. A lot of things that I make, I don't have a recipe for already, so I have to go and either look online or try and find somebody else who has a recipe for the thing that I'm wanting to make. Sometimes it might just need a little bit of adjusting so that it's the way that our family enjoys eating it. So with Pai Fala, I found a good recipe, but I did have to adjust it a little bit to our liking. So I'm going to share that recipe with you and show you how to make it. I'm just going to tell you what the ingredients are. So in the pineapple filling, we have crushed pineapple, milk, corn flour, and white granulated sugar. In the dough, we have plain white flour, a little bit of salt, some coconut cream, baking powder, and butter. So we need a big pot, and we're going to strain the pineapple. So it's crushed pineapple, and the tins are 425 grams, so we need 3 of those. We're going to strain off the juice. We will be using the juice, just not all of it. So we have the pineapple in the pot. Next we're going to mix 3/4 of a cup of that pineapple juice with 3/4 of a cup of corn flour or cornstarch. So this is 3/4 of a cup. Three-quarters of a cup of cornstarch. Give that a little gentle whisk. So it's all nicely combined. Now we need 1 cup of milk. Pour that into the pineapple. And 1.5 cups of white granulated sugar. 1.5. So we're just going to put this on a medium heat and stir it. And just mix that through. And then we're going to pour in also the corn flour and pineapple juice. And what's going to happen is, as this heats up, the corn flour is going to thicken the pineapple, and that will give us a really nice filling for the pineapple pies. And we found that this recipe is good for us because it makes about 18. There's 6 of us in our family, and so that gives us about 3 each. Alright, so while this is thickening up, which is going to take a little while, as long as you keep stirring it, make sure it doesn't stick to the bottom. You could be making the dough right now. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get the dough ready, and then we can just set the dough aside as well until we're ready to make Pai Fala, so that we have a nice cool filling to put into the dough. So we need 9 cups of plain flour. 6 teaspoons of baking powder, and it's up to you if you want to sieve it. I don't sieve it, and we find that it just still works out fine. But if you want to sieve it, then just it's up to you. And a pinch of salt. Two 400ml cans of coconut cream, and just make sure it's actually coconut cream, not coconut milk. Coconut cream's quite a bit thicker than the milk. Cara is a nice consistency. But we also use Fia, that's another brand. They tend to be the thicker coconut creams and they work really well. And then we have here 225 grams of softened butter. I'm going to mix it with my hands, so just make sure if you're using your hands that you've done a really good job cleaning them with soap and water. It just works a lot easier to do it with your hands. So you can see here that it's starting to thicken up and look a bit more custardy and creamy. So this could probably go a little bit longer, thicken up a little bit more. We like our filling to be not quite so runny. And I'm just going to tip it out onto the bench, which we've already cleaned, just to make it a little bit easier to combine. And it looks quite dry, but it's actually starting to come together now because the coconut cream is becoming more incorporated into the dough. I can smell it's nice and coconutty. And that's the difference with this dough from some other doughs, is that you've got the coconut cream in there, so it actually has that yummy coconut flavour when it's cooked. That combines really well with the pineapple filling. There are other fillings too that can go in these half moon pies. Another really common one and popular one is coconut. So it's like desiccated coconut with a kind of caramelly sauce. But the reason we make the pineapple is because we all like it, whereas not everybody in the family enjoys the desiccated coconut ones. Okay, so you can see it's coming together really nicely now. Like there's not really, can't really see any a few little dry bits, just poke them in. Just keep kneading a little bit and it'll keep coming together. And I can feel it's got like a nice kind of buttery feel to it. It doesn't feel greasy, but it feels nice and soft. So I think all up I've probably been kneading it for maybe 5 minutes. Probably 5 to 10 minutes is good. Don't over knead it, just once it's come together nicely, as you can see it is now. You can see there's no more dry flour. It's all come together into one nice big ball of dough. And like I said, this is going to make about maybe 18 to 20 depending on, because you know sometimes it's a bit inconsistent on the size that you're making it. We don't measure it, so we just cut into equal portions, which I'll show you. If you don't want that many, you could halve the recipe, or you could maybe do 1/3 of the recipe. It's up to you. I'm just going to set the dough aside now until the filling has cooled down. Just make sure that if you're waiting for the filling to cool, that you cover it with something so that nothing can get on there. So this is still hot at the moment, but this is the sort of consistency that as a family we enjoy our Pai Fala filling. So it's kind of, you can see it's definitely thickened up quite a lot. Okay, so this is the pineapple filling once it's been cooled down, and you can see it's thickened up quite a lot. And that's the sort of consistency that we want. Kind of custardy. I'm going to sprinkle some flour on the bench, nicely cleaned bench, and again just remember nice clean hands. And we're going to start separating this dough into equal portions so that we can roll out the Pai Fala. So just going to like halve the dough and just continue doing that. Once you've got the balls and they're reasonably similar, you're just going to roll them out with a rolling pin. So just keep turning it and rolling it a little bit more. You just want a nice round shape. I think I've seen sometimes people use the shape of a plate. I'm not quite that particular, but that can be a really good way to do it as well. So I probably want it about that thickness. It's maybe about 5 mils, 4 mils. Again, that's down to your preference. So once we have a roundish shape, we're going to put the filling in. So we don't want it to burst open. Sometimes they burst open a little bit in the oven. Probably about 2 good tablespoons, maybe a little bit more, maybe like 2.5 tablespoons of the pineapple filling. And then a really good way to stick it down is just to dip your fingers in a glass of water and just go around the edge, and that's going to help stick it down. So then we're going to get a fork, just pinch down the sides, help to stick it down. And then we're going to place them on a tray that's already got some baking paper on it. So you just pick it up and transfer it over to the tray. So just sprinkle some more flour out. Grab another ball of dough. Maybe a bit too much flour. Don't want it to be too dry. And again, you could even do this with your hands. You don't have to have a rolling pin, but it works quite nicely. So you might hear my son Micah practicing his skateboarding outside while we're videoing this. If you check out some of our other YouTube videos, you'll be able to see one of the videos where we go to the skate park and the kids have taken some shots of them trying different things at the skate park. So I've got another round here and we're going to put a little bit less filling in it. I think I may have overfilled the other one a little bit too much. So just going to do 2 tablespoons. And again, just keep using the same water. Carefully fold it over and shape it. The holes are just to allow the steam to escape, so hopefully they won't burst open. My daughter Ariana, who's filming this for us at the moment, is a little bit more precise than I am, and she likes to trim around the edges and make them look all perfect, but I'm a little bit more of a lazy chef, lazy cook. There's our second one. And I find it easier to just have some water in a cup that I can just keep dipping my fingers in to just stick down the edges. So the half moon shape, that's where the name comes from, because it looks like half a moon. If you tidy up the edges. Looks more like a half a moon. Pick that up, put it on the baking tray. So this is our first batch ready to go in the oven. I just find that at this size it's great because I can fit 6 perfectly on the tray. We're going to put it in at 190 degrees Celsius, and our oven is a fan bake oven, so we're using the fan. And they'll cook for around sort of 15 to 20 minutes. It just really depends on how golden you like them. So here we have the finished product, the cooked Pai Fala, and it's a nice goldeny colour. This is the way that my husband likes it. And at the moment they're steaming hot, so we won't be eating them till they cool down a little bit, but I will cut one in half just so that you can see what they look like on the inside. And there you have it. Yummy pineapple filling, steaming hot. Too hot to eat at the moment, but the kids are going to devour them as soon as they're allowed, and I'm pretty sure my husband will be looking forward to these too, as will I. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed learning how to make Pai Fala. If you try it, put a comment on how your Pai Fala turned out. Yeah, and please like and subscribe if you enjoyed watching this video. Thank you. Bye.